packaged together. I don't know exactly what's coming
Right.
next.
Yeah, so you'll have the slides. Are you ready? Yep.
Okay, guys. Today we got Mr. Brent Adams here from Lincoln Tech to talk with you a little bit. Couple just clerical things. I want you, if you have your cell phones on you, I want you to silence those. Okay, obviously, so they're not going off. And unless he asks you to pull them out, leave them in your pockets. If you did bring your laptop, please close it, leave it closed. Want you to obviously give him your attention. Okay, have an open mind about where you are in your process of thinking about what's next for you. Okay, the goal of today, one of the goals is just to help present you maybe with some other ideas that maybe you hadn't thought about. Okay, so as we're going through, please think of questions that you want to ask. All right, we want to make sure that when you walk out of this room today, that you have your questions answered. Okay, so please don't hesitate to ask questions. Okay, we want you to have the information that you need from this experience when it's over. Part of the purpose today is trying to expand our Naviance program. Naviance sometimes can kind of gear toward more of that four-year college student. And so this year we are having 5 different sessions like this today to hit more of this group of people here through our Naviance curriculum. And so that is the purpose, one of the purposes for this today. We want to encourage you to consider the incredible career opportunities that are out there for you with just maybe 1 or 2 years of education beyond high school. Okay, we talked with you already a little bit about that, but you're going to start to see that a little bit more clearly through these sessions. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions right now, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Adams from Lincoln Tech.
All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Pretty good for Tuesday? Okay. Great to be here. I do work in the admissions department for Lincoln Tech. And really, I always look forward to any opportunity that I can get to come into a school, visit with you guys, and share with you guys some good info. Okay. I wanted to begin with, first of all, telling you a little bit about the history of Lincoln Tech. I'm sure some of you are familiar, maybe you've heard of it, but maybe that's the extent of it. So I wanted to make sure that you had a little background as to how Lincoln Tech actually came about. Because the story of Lincoln Tech, for me, it's kind of it's pretty cool. Lincoln Tech actually started up in the 1940s. Now let me ask you, what was the United States involved in the 1940s? World War II, right? And by the mid-40s, the war was coming to an end, right? But you had all these guys that were overseas fighting. They're all coming back home. They had been gone a while. And the world had changed on them while they were gone. They needed some new skills to get back on with their lives. Lincoln Tech stepped up and helped them out. That's why a lot of times, if you ever see a Lincoln Tech commercial on TV, many times it's referred to as America's Technical Institute. It all kind of stems from that. Even to this day, we've got a great relationship with the armed services. There has been a Lincoln Tech campus in Indianapolis since the 1960s. So yes, Lincoln Tech is one of the most well-known and well-thought-of technical schools in the entire country. And you guys are very fortunate that there's a campus relatively close. We have helped out a lot of people over the years from this area. It would not surprise me one bit if some of your dads, uncles, grandpas, or just family friends may have attended. So I am very grateful for the opportunity to come in here and kind of go over the different programs that we do have available. I guess first of all, though, as seniors, right, there's a lot of different options you're gonna have after graduation. But I think it goes without saying that the better paying jobs, the ones that do allow you to live a more comfortable lifestyle, are probably gonna require some additional schooling or some more training after you graduate. Now, there's a lot of different places, a lot of different things that somebody can do to get more schooling or training. Some people, they do go right out into the workforce and try to get it. Some people go into the military, right? Some people try the 2-year or 4-year college. And some people try the technical school. That's the one I want to spend a little bit of time on, right? The technical school option is gaining a lot of popularity for many reasons. But I think a couple of the big ones are the technical school. You can kind of just hone in on whatever it is that you have the interest in. And you don't have to take all these other classes, right? A lot of people like it. And consequently, when you train that way, it shortens the length of time that you actually have to go to school. And a lot of people can appreciate that. You get in there, you buckle down, you learn your trade, and then bam, you've got some marketable skills to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. All right, so again, the Lincoln Tech Indianapolis campus, we offer 6 different programs. They're all listed there. It's kind of hard to see, but the 6 different programs, we've got automotive, diesel, and collision repair that are kind of dealing with cars and trucks. We have a CNC machining, an electrical program, and welding. Okay? All 6 of those programs are good. Okay? Those programs right there lead to employment. Those are what they call marketable skills. As a technical school, that is what we do. We monitor the trends of the country. We know where the jobs are now and where they're going to be in the future. Okay? So, whenever you combine a marketable skill along with a good work ethic, hey, that's when the good times are going to happen. All right. So let's kind of take a look at each program individually. The objective of the automotive program is probably just what you think it is, right? It's going to train somebody up so that they can hold down a position at a car dealership or an independent shop working on new cars. The modern vehicle is getting to be pretty high tech, right? Some of your parents might have new wheels. And you sit in there and you look at that dashboard and it's lit up like a Christmas tree. Right? OnStar, Bluetooth, navigation, you name it. You know, there's features on cars now where if you don't want to parallel park your car, right? You take your hands off the wheel, just hit a button, and the car will back itself into the spot. It's amazing, right? So a lot of technology on the modern vehicle. I'd say to be successful anymore in the auto service industry, you've got to be mechanically inclined, but you also have to be very tech savvy. All right, as far as different positions, guys, once you've been formally trained and you're able to walk the walk and talk the talk, there is a lot of different positions that you are making yourself eligible for. You don't always have to be the line technician. You may develop a particular interest in a specialty, like just for instance, transmissions, right? Or maybe you want to move into, let's say, parts, right? You know, the automotive technician, he's working on a car, and he realizes what he needs to make it fix. He's calling a special department to get the parts over. Okay, or maybe you want to move into sales of equipment, you know, selling things like alignment racks or on-car brake blades and stuff like that. There's a whole different aspect of the industry other than just being the person that fixes the actual car. Keep that in mind. You probably recognize just about every one of these nameplates. These are organizations and businesses that Lincoln Tech has had affiliations with for many years. Okay? The industry right now is short-handed and is in need of good people. Diesel, right? This is one of our most popular programs at Lincoln. A lot of people, when they hear the word diesel, the first thing that pops into their head is trucks, right? And yes, over-the-road trucking is a huge part of the diesel industry. But don't forget about farm equipment, construction equipment, boats, trains, buses. It's all running on the diesel. The United States relies very heavy on the diesel engine for a lot of different things. And right now there is a severe shortage of trained diesel technicians, which means that is a tremendous opportunity for you as a young person. Kind of just like automotive, you don't always have to be the line technician, right? But you kind of want to make sure that you're getting into a line of work that's going to allow you opportunities to advance and move out into a lot of different directions. These do fit the bill, okay? Because again, just like automotive, you can get into the parts aspect, you can get into the equipment aspect, and of course, all those different lines that I mentioned before, the over-the-road truck, the farming, the construction, whatever the case may be. You may recognize all these nameplates as well, or at least many of them, right? Again, Lincoln Tech has been around for a long time. Connections have been made with, employers. Collision repair. Fixing the damage. How many of you or someone in your family has ever been involved in a car accident or fender? Right. A lot. It happens all the time, right? There's actually more cars on the road now than ever before. That's a fact. The problem is there's more distracted drivers on the road than ever before. Everybody seems to be doing everything but paying full attention to their driving. Well, if you've got this many cars driving around and this many people not paying full attention, there's going to be accidents, right? So this is the program that teaches somebody how to take that damaged vehicle and get it back to looking new, and all the spots in between. We're kind of noticing here recently that a lot of the students coming into the program are more of an artistic person. And I think they view that damaged vehicle as a challenge, right? To get it back to looking straight. Again, just like the other two, don't always think that you always have to be the initial line technician. With collision repair, you can get into estimation and work in the insurance industry. You can get into painting. You can get into the suppliers of all these materials. A lot of different things that you can move into. And I'm sure you recognize a lot of these logos as well. Some of these are just businesses that have collision repair shops. Some of them are nationwide companies. Okay. Now, the next three, they don't really deal with cars or trucks, but they're great in their own right. The electrical program is one of my favorites. As you can see, there's two parts to this program. The electrical side is going to teach a person how to wire up a home, what they call residential wiring. If any of you have plans of becoming an electrician, this is a program that will help you along. The other side of the program, the electronic systems part, that teaches you how to install and then be able to service and repair a lot of different things that we use in our daily lives. When I tried to come into the school today, the door was locked, right? I had to scooch over to the side and did that little intercom system. Hooking up an intercom system like that's the work of an EST, electronic systems technician. Then the lady at the front desk hit the button so that it unlocked the door. That type of lock is called an electromagnetic lock, installed by an EST. And then I know by the time I set foot into the office lobby there, I know I was on a surveillance camera installed by an EST. So that's just a few things that the curriculum of this program is going to train you up for. In addition to that stuff, though, guys, the variety of this program is the beauty of it, right? Security systems. It's hard to find a business today that doesn't have some type of an alarm system. What else we got? Home automation, right? As you guys get to be a little bit older and you start buying homes of your own, it's going to be very common that you're going to be able to control all kinds of stuff in your house from one panel or your phone. Fiber optic cable, right? You know, if you ever drive past, or maybe you live in a newer subdivision, take note, there's no telephone poles in there. They don't put those up anymore. Everything that used to be on a telephone pole is now run underground. Fiber optic cable, huge business. Fire alarm systems. Those are mandated to be in every public building in the country. That's a lot. And that's actually very sophisticated stuff, how it's all rigged into the fire station. Anyway, you know, we actually have a 5-room smart house right on the campus. Kind of all that stuff that I just mentioned, our students are hooking it up, taking it down, hooking it up, taking it down. So if you're wanting to get into that world of electrical, we got you covered. Yeah, you know, you might recognize a lot of these nameplates as well. CNC machine, okay. Guys, years ago, in Grant County, in Madison County, manufacturing was the king, okay? Then all of a sudden, those jobs went away. Some of your parents, some of your grandparents, you know, may have been affected by it. Okay, you've heard stories, right? Well, manufacturing's coming back. It's coming back to the country, it's coming back to Indiana, and it's coming back to these parts. And if you're wanting to lock down a high-paying manufacturing job, and they are out there, the skill you need to bring to the table is going to stem around these babies, these CNC machines. They are incredible. If you are unfamiliar with what a CNC machine is or does, kind of think of it this way. Whatever you can design on the computer through computer-aided drafting, you actually want to make that, it's going to be done on a CNC machine. You can load them up with wood, metal, plastic, it really doesn't matter. They'll just carry out the commands that you have programmed it to do. Our program is a 3-part program, right? You do learn the computer-aided drafting aspect. You do learn the programming part, and then you do learn the operation of the machine itself. Very marketable skills there if you're looking to get into that field. Yeah, I mean, it's just listing there a lot of the different industries that use machine. Everything is made at some point, right? And these CNC machines are the way of the future. Long gone are the days where a person used to stand over the machine and try to make a part or piece. Now it's done this way, okay? If you're someone who does like programming or coding, this might be something to look at. Welding. This is our newest program, and it's been a big hit. The welding program is focusing on the 4 main types of welds that the industry is looking for. MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding, and flux core welding. The program has been such a big hit that we are actually running 4 shifts of welding. Day, afternoon, night, and weekends, okay, to keep up with the demand. So welding is booming right now. Whether it be for structural welding, pipe welding, plate welding, Doesn't matter. It seems like the industry, no matter what aspect of it, is shorthanded, which means that's great opportunities for you. I know some of you are sitting out here thinking, I don't know exactly what I want to do for a living. But I do know that whatever I get into, I want it to pay well. And I do enjoy working with my hands. And folks, if that's the case, please give a little thought to these careers. Okay, they offer a lot of upside. And if you got a good work ethic, you know, you can make some very good money in these lines of work. Lincoln Tech does have a career service department. I always like to touch base on this. They're a very active department on the campus. I see them doing three things more than anything else. We have noticed over the years here recently that a lot of young people have gotten to be really good at this, right? But not so much at this. And that's okay, except for when you're in the professional ranks and you've got to be able to communicate with the customers. So right off the bat, when our students get on campus, the Career Service Department is working with them to help develop what they call the soft skills. We know the programs are going to take care of developing the technical side of the person. And if we can develop the soft skills along the way, we got a more well-rounded student at the end. They're going to assist you with part-time jobs. Okay? When someone goes to college, working a part-time job is probably part of the deal. It's no different for Lincoln Tech students. What I do think is different is how easy it is for our students to get a good part-time job. Again, we've been in Indianapolis a long time, and the connections have been made. The only students at Lincoln Tech who are not working a part-time job are the ones that don't want one. There is no issue of, well, you know, I've sent out my applications, they're not calling me. No way. Okay. If you want to be working in the field that you're training to get into, we can help you with that. Or if you want to work in a different segment, for instance, we have a great connection with UPS, the loading and unloading of trucks. A lot of our students work there because, yeah, they pay pretty good, but they also offer a lot of tuition reimbursement. And anytime you can get an employer to help pay for your schooling, you got to look into that, right? And there's a lot of assistance with that. And of course, their main mission is, as you approach graduation, to get you into the professional ranks. Employers come on the campus on a regular basis. We hold career fairs. All that's to assist you in getting into the professional ranks. There's some data there on the placement of the graduates of the program. The jobs are out there, guys. If you hold up to your end of the bargain by being a good student, good attendance, good grades, right? Put forth the effort necessary, the school will hold up to its end of the bargain. We do have student housing. It's not dorms. Okay, these are actual apartments. Collegiate Housing is an outfit that we have on campus. They've got connections with apartment complexes right by the school that have agreed to rent to the students. So it'll be you and a couple other roommates in your own apartment. Your neighbors could be townspeople, but your roommates are going to be fellow Lincoln Tech students. So housing is available. You do not have to stay in it if you don't want to. You're more than welcome to get your own place. Maybe you have a relative that lives close to the campus. You can stay with them too if you wanted, but housing is offered to the students. Scholarships. Guys, I can assure you that your parents would be really, really, really happy if you got a scholarship of any amount. Okay? Anything that can whittle down the cost of going to college is going to be welcome. Before I leave here today, I will be giving the counselors a scholarship test link. And if any of you are interested in applying for a scholarship, all you got to do is click on this link. It'll take you to a little test. It takes 20 minutes. Could earn you $10,000. Okay? And on down to that. There's several ways to earn money. That's just one opportunity. These are some of you might be in the FFA program here, right? Lincoln Tech offers scholarships for those who participate in the welding and the small engines contests. Imagine America, that will also be. Anyway, make sure you do yourself a favor, do your parents a favor, look into scholarships. They do happen. Lincoln's big on scholarships, and we encourage our students to be working on them, and it does happen for many of our students. Financial aid, I believe that's financial aid. Yep. You know, I'm sure you guys are, as seniors, been hearing a lot of announcements about FAFSA. Guys, that's step one. That's what makes somebody eligible for all the government educational loans and grants and whatnot. The same programs that people use to go to other colleges are used at Lincoln Tech, right? So make sure you're paying attention to the announcements for FAFSA, getting that thing filed, because that's what is step one, okay? Our financial aid office at the school will then pick it up from there, work with you and your folks to put together that list. All right. Winding it down here, guys. Just some distinctions about the school. Finish faster. Yeah, the programs at Lincoln Tech, we are a traditional trade school. There is no English or Shakespeare or any classes like that. Whatever you signed up for, that's going to be the only thing that you're going to study. Okay? When you use that method, it does, again, shorten the length of time. Our programs don't take 2 years or 3 years. They take about 1. Some of the programs are less than a year. Welding is 8 months. Machining, 10 months. Collision repair and electrical, 12 months, 1 year. And the mechanics, 13 months, just slightly over a year. But again, you know, it should be the highlight of your day as a Lincoln Tech student to come over to the campus and get into those shops. Okay? You've got to enjoy hands-on learning. Our shops are nice, and we want to get our students into the shops as quickly as possible. So you have got to be comfortable with hands-on training. Got the career service department. All of the instructors at Lincoln Tech are full-time. This is what they do for a living. It's not a part-time gig for some extra money after their other job, right? This is what they do. They've all been technicians before themselves. They know how to get you trained up for what's coming down the pipe. Advisory boards, yep, we listen to our advisory boards, right? You know, when they come in and they tell us, hey, Lincoln Tech, this is what we want your students to be able to do when they leave your place. Okay? We implement what they say so that the transition from student to professional is smooth. And again, the financial aid aspect, very important for most people. We do have a full service financial aid department that helps you with this. All right. So that brings me to my next point. You are all given a brochure on the way in, okay? On the front of the brochure is a QR code. I would like for you to take out your phone right now and scan the QR code. And there is a short survey. I think it's like 8 little questions. But I'd like for you to take care of that right now. Let me know if you're having any issue with not being able to call up the code. I know, I just tried it earlier this morning. I know it was working.
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, sir.
That'll be your issue in here.
Okay.
Few of them might get it. If they're AT&T, they might be able to get it.
So if you don't have service, guys, what I guess I'll have to do is I'll send the link to the survey. to the guidance counselors, and he will email it out to you guys. Fill that thing out. The survey, for me, is important because I like your feedback as to what you're thinking about doing. Lincoln Tech listens to that feedback, and it helps us to develop new programs for the future based on your responses. Also, if you're interested in any of these programs for after graduation, it will allow me to reach out to you so that I can help you with the next steps. Okay? Now, so if you have no service, you couldn't even text me, could you?
I could.
Yeah. Okay. If you can't get to the survey and you know, you just want to text me your name, that's another way that I can get the survey out to you. Does anybody have any questions over anything that we've gone over or haven't gone over that might be on your mind?
You said like welding had a weekend program. Is it just with welding or is there more?
Yes. Right now, the weekend welding is exclusive to welding. And it's really just because of the mass of applications for welding. That's what we were kind of had to do. Hopefully, you know, we could not have a welding program, but we're kind of kicking it around. It may be beneficial for a lot of people because it allows them to work full time, you know, throughout the week and then do the training. It is an option right now. Is welding your thing?
No, I was interested in the electrical.
Oh, yeah. Electrical. One of my favorites.
Robert, I'm getting on the truck and robotics is my specialty.
So then if you like robotics, I always kind of look at that CNC machine as almost a robot. I mean, you're programming it to do your commands.
Yeah, I have multiple certifications, like multimeter.
Yeah.
Like that from Hopkins.
So, yeah, you know, think of that CNC machine as a robot that you're programming to make a part of the piece. Pretty neat. Yeah.
In the same school, I'm in a different class. And, I'm gonna take an internship for the machine.
Yeah. Machining is great, guys. That's a,
big demand coming up.
there is a big demand. Yep. Yep. So, yeah, please look into the CNC machining program. A lot of upside with that. All of them have upside, guys. If they were not leading to good jobs at the end, we would flip it out with something else, right? But again, that's what we do as a tech school. We're looking at things like that, making sure that there is a lot of potential for employment and earnings.
Mr. Adams, with some of our kids who are in our vocational schools, they're earning certifications and some dual credits to other schools. Does any of that fit into Lincoln Tech?
It depends. There are some articulation agreements in place with some of the programs at Heartland. I don't know about the one at Darien, but it would just depend on which program you're in. Most of the programs, the lines of work themselves are very much certification based. You know, the employers that look at the certifications. So the more that you can collect, the better off you're going to be. In general, the more things that you can put behind your name, you know, that you have accomplished and done, when you're young and getting into the line of work, that's only going to be in your favor, right? So I encourage you to pick up any certification you can that is offered through your schooling right now. It's just going to help, right? Some of the certifications are at high school level. We're more at a professional level, our certifications. That's okay. Again, the more you can put behind your name, the better. It's just going to help you out.
Some of you may be thinking, you know, okay, well, I'm at Heartland, I'm in the welding program, let's say, for example. So I'm just going to go right out into the workforce and I'm just going to go get a job, which may be true. But put yourself on the other side of the interview table, as you're the boss. You're the one hiring somebody. And I've got two people who have applied for that job. One is right out of high school, and the other one has gone to a place like Lincoln Tech and got a degree from there in 8 months, up to 13 months, whatever it takes. Okay? As those other professional certifications and things like that, you know, which one are you gonna hire? I think that's pretty obvious, right? So you really help yourself, and the thing that I learned here in this presentation was their longest program is 13 months.
Right.
Longest. And I know as a 17 and 18-year-old kid, 13 months may seem like a long time, but as a guy in his 50s, 13 months is a snap. Right? So to be able to progress your career into a lot better job, a lot better paying job, a job that now, instead of just giving you a base minimum wage salary or maybe a little higher than that, that's going to give you health insurance and possibly life insurance and dental and eye and all of those other benefits that those other jobs won't. Those are the things you got to consider. Is it worth me going for 8 months, maybe 13 months, a little longer to increase my salary and get those kind of benefits?
Well said. I totally agree. You know, it's a competitive world out there. And even though there might be a great job right out of high school, you know, years later, there might be a downturn in the economy or whatnot. And do you just want to have the high school diploma? Or do you want to have some additional schooling also on your resume? You know, position yourself for a good run in life. And yeah, in a short amount of time, you can help yourself out. Who knows what the future holds?
Okay, and the rest of you have any questions?
Did anybody get some service where they could take the survey? You were? How long did it take you to do it? Like 30 seconds? It's not long, so when you get the link, please take it. It does help me out tremendously for the reasons why.
Is that pretty much what you?
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Number one, so what's going to happen here the remainder of our time? You're going to stay in here. Feel free to go up, talk with Mr. Adams one-on-one if you maybe have some more specific questions that you want to ask him. That's what the time's for. We're going to stay in this room until the bell rings at 12:41. When that happens, you will all go to lunch. Okay, how many of you eat normally first lunch? Raise your hand. Okay, those of you, you will go get your tray or lunch or take it or whatever you do for lunch. You will go take your lunch to your SRT room and eat in there. Do not stay in the cafeteria or any of those other places, okay, because of COVID and contact tracing.